Hey guys, I hope you guys are well. Let's talk about living in answered prayers, not yours. Okay, let's rephrase it in a different way. Living in answered prayers while waiting on yours. That sounds just about right, right? Huh. I am today's years old, and I'm realizing that huh, interesting. I feel like that's the most interesting concept that I've come across this week. And yeah, because I think I've been thinking about this, right? Especially with how relationships are working out right now. I'm talking about friendships, how they are working out, especially when people get their answered prayers and you haven't gotten the same like the same answered prayer that you've been asking for, but then you got different answers. If that makes sense. So suppose you and your friend are praying for a job, right? Please bless us with a job, God, all of that, and then your friend gets the job first. However, as much as you're praying for your job and all of that, there are departments in your life where you're mostly advantaged than your friend is. For example, let's say perhaps you have the love of family, your family is doing great, you have this amazing support, your family supports you financially, emotionally, all of that, and your friend, on the other hand, does not have that. The only support that they have is themselves. And obviously the both of you are coming from different backgrounds, and now, not saying you're oblivious to your blessings, you are aware of your blessings, but you're like, I really need a job, and God is like, take a chill pill, we fixing this first. Let's fix how well you're gonna land when you get a job, because your family is articulated in a way that they support you financially, meaning you don't like anything financially other than the fact that you want to do things yourself. It's just a wild example of living in answered prayers where you are not answered yet, but the people who are around you are answered. And this changes relationships. Your friends no longer are your friends. One of the things that you guys used to do together, there's no time to do that anymore because they have a 9 to 5 and you don't have. Sometimes maybe let's say you want to go out for lunch. They can't do that because they have to go for lunch with their co-workers or their friends who they betrayed you with. That's a story for another day. But I want us to remember, us being me, myself, and I, my soul, my body, the Trinity that I am, that it's okay that it's not okay, and it's okay that God breaks relationships. God breaks these amazing relationships that you thought you had in order for you to be alone. Because there's a scripture, there's a sermon actually that this other pastor was preaching about, that in everything that happens, there's some journeys you have to take alone. Even Jesus was walking, and then along the way he found disciples, and those disciples stood by him, and when it came time for him to walk on his journey to the cross, he was alone again. And which is why Jesus, even in those times, he even asked them, I believe it's Peter, that would you still be there? Will you be with me? And then Peter was like, I'm gonna be with you, God, through it all. And then Jesus was like, and I believe in those moments that's when Jesus felt like, I feel like the worst disadvantage that God had, like that Jesus had in those times, is knowing that that person is gonna not be with them in their most time of need. I feel like that's the worst thing that happened to him, well, so many worse things happened to him, but in those moments, even where I am right now currently, I'm realizing that I feel like knowing that your most trusted companions are to not be with you in your most time of need is crushing, let alone it happening even. So it's like, big ups to Jesus, you know? Big ups to him, because he still managed to actually walk down finish his journey to the cross, you know, because the moment we humans get to a point where we realize that this person is not down for me like I thought they are. This person is not down for me like the way I was down for them. And it's sad is not even the word to comprehend it. It's terrible. It's you do something in a very, 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 very deep way. And it's just so sad because now in our 20s we get to be in that moment where people just be about their lives, and it's just so sad, you know. It's really sad. And especially when ting now I realize that things are just sad. And when things get to be this sad, and you realize that the people that you would have loved for them to be in your corner aren't here, the people of whom, oh damn, it's something on another level. It's this excruciating pain. It makes you realize that you just have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with the fact that you got played, but you have to use the memories that were so memorable and good. You have to use those memories into tricking your mind into making it seem and feel as though it was worth it. Yes, it was the time of my life, but I would have still been great without those times. And I know that I had to learn something. I know that in those moments when things were happening, God was teaching me to move through about life and do things, you know. But at the same time, it's like I would have still been okay. I would still be okay. Trust you me, I'll still be okay, oh God. And I know that you know what's best for me, and I know that you do things. My next memory, like my next moment, is articulated in a way that is to benefit me. But I feel like some relationships, some friendships, some whatever ship it is, if I had an option of, if like God had asked me in that moment, but now I realize that I'm actually lying. Those were the best times of my life. The memories of them, they're just flooding in my head right now, and I'm realizing those were the best times of my life. I got to experience so much. I got to learn so much. I'll make a story time about this, getting like in deep depth about it. But today, in this moment, it's really, really late. It's actually 12, and yeah, it's 12, and I'm going to church in the morning. I have to be early, very, very early to be at that, but I just couldn't sleep, you know. It was just swirling in my mind, going round and round that it's sad. And I'm one person that I feel energy shifts, and the moment the energy shifts, the times where I'm gonna lie to myself and be like, no, maybe you should try a little bit harder, you know, try a little bit harder, and maybe things will be better. But after time, I'm gonna realize that no, it's time to let go, and it's time for you to be okay with letting go. And that if that's not the worst thing, it's second to the best worst thing. But hey, it's life. It's really life, and we're tinting. Yeah, it's just tinting. It's nothing about that. Tagalog is just tinting. Period. So yeah, hopefully you guys are getting wisdomatic. We feel wisdom and we grow in it. And most importantly, especially when I pray, I always ask God that may you please make sure that, like, may you please just give me the, what's the word, mohau, umfe mohau wa hore bohlale ba hao bo dula bo na le nna ka dinako tsohle, and your energy of your angel of acceptance cloaks me, just be around me. Because I feel like most times what we deal with a lot is accepting. And like after you've accepted that things are going bad, and then after that you realize that actually things are going bad, and it's okay, I'm accepting that. And then after accepting that, the person comes back again, and now they're like, please give me another chance. And then that's when you realize, oh, maybe I had accepted that this is over way too early, or I just have to let go of this person, period. But yeah, from me, signing off. Hopefully I get sleep after sharing this. But yes, it's all good. It's really good. Yeah, hopefully it's all good. By the way, I'm thinking of who Samari. For some weird reason, I've been together Chicha this whole time. And also what I want to talk about is switching from alcohol and drugs to tattoos and piercings. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, let me know if you want to hear that.